Hey guys, Richie again. Your bro Richie again. Today, the part is finally here. Today is now officially part 5 on the Mercury Cyclone. So without any further ado, let's finish this. So so this is gonna be like the 2-in-1 video. Well, 3-in-1 actually. So there's a few pieces left. So I'm gonna mix it. So I'm gonna combine it all into one whole video. So without any further ado, buckle up and let's finish this. So. Starting off with the last one is the Gen 5 Cyclone from 1972. No, guys, just 1972. So for 72, the Montego's fully redesigned, with a body on frame construction, front and rear coil spring suspension. So front and rear coil spring suspension. So coil spring suspension, and a new shorter front and rear coil spring suspension, and a new shorter 114-inch wheelbase for two-door models. The Cyclones reverted to a performance option pack available on the Mercury Montego MX two-door, and the Montego GT. The pack included one of two motor. The pack included one of two motors: the 5.7 liter 351, or 5.8 liter technically 351, Q code 4 barrel, Cleveland Cobra Jet, small block V8 rated at an SAE net of 250 horsepower, not too bad, or the 7 liter 429, N code 4 barrel V8 rated at an SAE net of just 205 horsepower, so 45 less than the 5.7 liter. Well, 45 less than the 5.8 liter. Sorry. A 4 barrel rated at an SAE net of 205 horsepower. The Cyclone option group included a functional ram air induction. The Cyclone option group included a functional ram air induction system through twin integrated hood scoops, hubcaps and trim rings, body stripping and identification, 3-spoke steering wheel, and dual racing mirrors. The 5.8 liter 351 V8s available with either a 4-speed manual or 3-speed auto. Both out of which I just still picked the 4-speed manual. Automatics suck. Like, I just hate autos. So manuals are just much better. Anyways, 4-speed manual or 3-speed auto, while the 7-liter 429 V8s only sold with an automatic. Really? They had no point in putting a manual? Are you kidding me? It's only sold with an automatic. Great. It's all going well until I have to spoil it with a shitty automatic. Sorry, just... God, why can't they just put a manual into the mix of that? Anyway, early Mercury factory literature showed this option available, while later editions didn't have any info on the Cyclone pack. Only 30 of those 72 Cyclone pack cars were produced. 29 Montego GTs and 1 Montego MX. 20 of these Cyclones were equipped with a 7-liter 429 V8. Oh my god. We're on the second to last one. So next one is use in motorsport. During its production, the Mercury Comet Cyclone represented the brand in motorsport, initially gaining gaining use in drag racing. Initially gaining use in drag racing, the Cyclone was raced in NASCAR. So in NASCAR, alongside the Ford Fairlane, both the Fairlane and its Torino successor. With the Gen 4 Cyclone becoming one of the most dominant body styles ever used in Winston Cup racing. In the '68 Daytona 500, the Cyclone took both first and second place. So first and second place. The Wood Brothers Racing, or WBR, number 21, 71 Cyclone, still holds a NASCAR record. So still holds a NASCAR record for 18 wins. 18 wins out of 32 races. That's not too bad. Not too bad. It's pretty good. Out of 32 races, not too bad. Halfway is pretty decent. For the 72 Daytona 500, 12 of those 40 cars. So 12 of those 40 cars. 12 of those 40 cars. So over, I'd say about between 20 to 30% of those cars. So 12 of those 40 cars in the race were Cyclones. The dominance of the Cyclone would lead to the development of the Aero Warriors body styles of production muscle cars. Aerodynamically optimized for aerodynamically optimized for Winston Cup racing, following their homologation. Alongside the Torino Talladega, the Cyclone Spoiler 2 was introduced to compete with both the Charger Daytona and Plymouth Superbird, which was used as the king in the 2006 movie Cars. So Plymouth Superbird, which was essentially the number 43 racer, the king, driven by Richard Petty. So Plymouth Superbird, although a redesigned Spoiler 2's developed in 1970, only a single prototype's produced, alongside three Torino King Cobra, three Torino King Cobra counterparts. So three Torino King Cobra counterparts. For 1971, NASCAR changed its rules to end the production of aerodynamically optimized cars. Increasing their homologation, increasing their homologation requirements and restricting their motor displacement, because certain races have like restrictions of how big the motor has to be and all that kind of stuff. So restricting their motor displacement. Following their shift of the Cougar from the Mustang. So Cougar from the Mustang to the Montego class. Mercury body NASCAR teams phased out the Cyclone in favor of the Cougar. So Mercury body NASCAR teams phased out the Cyclone in favor of the Cougar XR7 Cougar XR7 introduced in 1974. Whew. God Lord. Alright, I need a drink real quick. Just talking so much. That literally that just hurts your throat when you just talk too much like this. God Lord. I need a drink. Give me a second there. Whew. Alright. I'm good. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Alright. Last part to wrap it up is production. Let's finish this. So, this is production for the Mercury Comet Cyclone from 1964 to 1964 to 1972. So this is for how many were made in production for all versions in total, and the notes of how many different variants were made. So in 1964, they made 7,454. It's not bad. A little, almost 7,500, which is pretty good. That was 1964. In 1965, they made 12,347. 1966, 8,194. Almost 8,200 in total. In 1966. In 1967, they made 6,910. That includes 809 convertibles. In 1967. So in 1968, they made 13,628. Which that included 6,439 of those spoilers. That was 1968. In 1969, they made 9,143. Less than 9,500. So 9,143. With 5,882. So 5,882 cyclones and 3,261 cyclone CJs. They didn't do any production versions for 1970, nor 1971 or 1972. But in 1970, they made 1,695 cyclones, 10,170 GTs, and 1,631 spoilers. That was 1970. 1971, they made only 1971, they made only 400. So 444. So 444 cyclones. 2,287 GTs. So 2,287 GTs, and 353 spoilers. And in 1972, they only made just 30 cyclones. So just 30 cyclones. All right. Woo! I don't know why I did that, but it was fun. So that is officially it for the Mercury Cyclone. So that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. I will see you guys soon. Peace.